Wait. I'm wrong. I was wrong. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. My name's Chris. I'm going to be your host for today, and today we have Maker's Mark the Heart release. Now, this is the wood finishing series that they told us we were done with after 2023's release of the BEP. Now, I have the BEP. I also have the 2022 BRTO2. We're going to put these up against each other blind during our Bourbon Bomb of the Week, but we're going to start with this bottle right here and put it through the gauntlet, price, taste, drinkabilities. You know the rules, drinkabilities. Just one drinkability on this one. You know the rules, price, taste, drinkability. This is coming in at 111.7 proof. We'll talk a little bit more about this bottle as we get into it, but everybody knows before we get started, time for the traditional sip. Cheers, y'all. Not bad, I guess. So that's right, Maker's Mark is coming out with another bottle that is a wood finishing series after telling us they're all done with the wood finishing series. Now, I do like this bottle design. I believe the seller's age, I never got the seller's age, but I believe it was the same bottle design as this. This does tell us, which is weird, volume 1 of 5. So I'm assuming there's going to be 5 different releases in this particular series, which was not supposed to be a wood finishing series. Maybe it's a different wood finishing series. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Because it says the stave profile on this is 10 virgin toasted French oak staves. Maybe they had too many of these staves once they finished this project, and they were just like, let's just keep rolling with it. I know they put out a bunch of stuff like Fine Wine and Good Spirits does their own staves project. So they just seem to be into this staves thing right now. I just can't imagine this is something we want to continue to do over and over and over again. As always, we start with drinkability on this channel, and I will say Maker's Mark never really drank hot for me, right? They use 70% corn, 16% of a soft red winter wheat, which gives it a lot of sweetness, and then 14% malted barley. I feel like that specific mash bill really tones down any ethanol kick that you're going to get in this. You're not going to mix this up with any type of spices or anything like that. They do 10 French oak stave finish on this, so that might give it like a little bit of a kick, but when it comes to 111.7 proof, this isn't too bad at all. Now, I gotta say, by no means would I drink this under its proof. If I had to guess it blind, I would say like 110 proof probably. So we're right there. We give it a 7.0 if it drinks right at its proof. I'm gonna say like it's a, 7.02 when it comes to this particular glass? I mean, it's right there when it comes to the proof. And category number 2 we get into here is taste, which I think is very important. And the best thing about this particular bottle right here is it tells us what we're supposed to be tasting. The notes are caramel, chocolate, and maple. I gotta say, compared to some other Maker's Marks that I've had, especially in this wood finishing series, it feels a little bit darker to me than what I remember. Now, we are going to compare this to the BRTO2 as well as the BEP, so I'm curious if that stands up to what I'm thinking that it should. This does seem like it has more dark notes. I don't really get like a chocolatey note. I definitely get that maple note, that molasses note, that burnt brown sugar note, but not too much. It's definitely sweeter, which I do enjoy. I love a sweeter whiskey because of that winter wheat, but it doesn't seem like it's, I don't know, too complex, or it's not overpowering when it comes to the flavor profiles, right? It's there, but I'm kind of searching for them a little bit. I feel like I am getting a lot of darker flavor notes, and I feel like I'm missing that like traditional Maker's Mark note. If I blinded this, I don't know if I would tell you that this is Maker's Mark, and I feel like I would at least be in the realm of thinking that's what it is. Now, maybe that's because I think of Maker's Mark more of a bright, like a bright fruit note when I'm not getting that on this. I'm getting like a darker fruit note, molasses, burnt brown sugar, burnt caramel, like that darker that's coming out of this. Again, still no chocolate on this, but I guess I could see or understand why somebody would say chocolate. It's not bad by any means. It's just not what I love about whiskey. And it's definitely not what I look for when it comes to Maker's Mark. The one thing I will say is Maker's Mark doesn't really stray too far from what they do, right? They have one mash bill. They put it in every single bottle. They're doing these stave finishes now. They're trying a wood finishing series. They're doing some limited release stuff. They did the cellar age, which was super high age, which isn't typical for them. But I will say this does seem to be off profile for Maker's Mark, and I guess I can at least appreciate that because they're not giving us the same thing over and over again. Let's take one more sip. We'll finish this, and we'll give it a score when it comes to taste. We give it a 7.0 if it's an average tasting whiskey. I gotta say, before I give you my score, let me just tell you, this is my personal preference on this particular bottle. I think a lot of people will enjoy this bottle. I think if you like that darker note, that darker side of whiskey, you're going to enjoy this a little bit more than what I enjoy it as. But I will say for me, it's not my favorite. So I'm gonna go like a 5.91 when it comes to taste on this. There's nothing bad about it, or I would definitely go lower. It's just not what I'm personally looking for when it comes to a whiskey. So 5.91 is where I'm gonna put it. And last but not least, we've got to talk about the price on this bottle, and this bottle comes in at $75. And I believe, I had to think back on this, I believe that BRTO 102 got released at $60. So we're talking 2 years later and a 15 price point different for something that's not different at all. It just seems like they're going to tell us the wood finishing series is over and then put out another wood finishing series. They didn't even put out a press release saying, hey, we thought it was going to be over, but we really have more staves that we really want to work with, and we want to try this new flavor profile, and we want to try that. They didn't do anything like that. They were just like, hey, it's over, and then they put it out again. So what justifies the price increase? This is non-age stated, so we can't say the age. It's the same stave project with that 10 virgin toasted oak staves, French oak staves. So it's nothing like that. I'm just curious why this went up $15 because they put it in a new bottle. I'm not quite sure. It's not my favorite when it comes to taste. It's okay when it comes to drinkability, and it's right in that budget for what we call an average priced bourbon. So I'm going to give this a little bit below average when it comes to price as well. I'm going to go like 6.82 when it comes to the price on this. But listen, we don't just make claims, we back them up as well. This is C, this is going to be A, and this is going to be B. Let's get into our bourbon bomb of the week and compare these to the other two wood finishing series that I have. I actually have a few others, but we're not drinking that much tonight. So bottle A is what we're going to be working with right here. This is already poured up. Bottle B, let's go with the BEP. This is 2023 release. Do they tell us the stave project on this? They tell us 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. That's why I picked this one. The virgin American oak versus the virgin French oak. I believe the BRTO2 is also 10 virgin French oak staves. So I'm curious how those two do against each other. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the BRTO2, which tells us 10 virgin toasted French oak staves. So again, both of these are just 10 virgin toasted French oak staves, 2 years apart. This is 109.4. This is 111.7. What was this over here? This is 110.7. So we're right there when it comes to all the proofs on these. Let's pop this open. And I believe this tells us, yeah, dark expression filled with notes of fruit, nut, and chocolate. Basically the same thing we've got over here. I love when I'm right on. I don't want anybody to think this is tainted, so I looked at this just to make sure. These two glasses, the Great Whiskey Challenge, is not faded. This glass is faded. I don't want anybody to think I'm cheating. I'm going to pour this into another glass that I have. So here we have another glass B where it's not faded, just like these two over here. So we're just going to pour this in so nobody thinks there's any shenanigans going on over here, because I love doing these blinds. I'm not trying to cheat on these by any means, so let's make sure we do it right. And if you don't know how this works, this is the Great Whiskey Challenge. We have tag A, tag B, tag C on our bottles. On the bottom of these glasses, they all have a letter. I cannot see the letter when I drink it through the top of the glass. I'm going to cover the bottom so you guys don't know which one's which, but we got to mix these up first. Let's do it. While we use our Great Whiskey Challenge glasses, we're going to use our Whiskey Wisdom wheel here. So let's spin these up so we don't know which one's which. Just so you know, I have the memory of a goldfish, so I could have put these on here 20 seconds ago. I'm still not going to know which one's which, but let's try these out. So we already talked about these bottles just a little bit. We've talked about this one plenty tonight. The BEP over here, as I mentioned, 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. So the American oak versus the French oak is really what I'm trying to figure out here, and let's see if we can figure that out off the first glass. Cheers, y'all. Immediately spicier than what I was drinking tonight. Much more on brand, on profile for what I expect from Maker's Mark. The proofs on these are all within like a proof point or two, so we're not going to be able to tell anything by that. They're obviously all the same stuff when it comes to Maker's Mark. They have one mash bill, and then it's just that French oak stave versus the American oak staves, and I guess 2 years versus another 2 years later. I don't know any age statements on any of these. Immediately in my mind, this is a little bit more complex. It gives me a little bit more spice, which I do love. I love a sweet whiskey, but I love something that gives me a little bit of everything. So if you throw a little bit of spice in there, I'm going to love it. If it's overwhelming with the spice, I'm not going to love that. I will also say, though, the ethanol kick on this is just a little bit more than what I was expecting at any of these proofs. There's a dryness, there's a tannin on the tongue. I didn't get much oak when we talked about this one. I got like a little bit of an oak influence, a little bit of a tannin influence, but when you're talking about like a French oak or an American oak stave influence, I didn't get much oak on that. I get a lot more oak on this, which makes me almost believe that it's the American oak. I don't know why I'm telling myself that, but it feels like the American oak is oakier than the French oak. I don't know. It just seems that way. Much less spice than this one over here, but still I feel like a little bit more spice than what I had over here. I don't know if we drank. The thing is, I already drank this tonight, so I should mentally be able to pick up on it. But when we're going 3 glasses deep here, if it's the third one, I don't know if it's going to be different enough between the 3. Ooh, there's like a mocha. There's like a, we talked about chocolatey on these two, both say chocolatey. The nose on this gives me like almost like a coffee note too. Like a chocolatey coffee note. Which I definitely didn't get that on this. I also didn't nose it for too long. I got that whiff of that literally right as I picked it up to my nose. Ooh. That is completely different. That is complete. See, now I'm lost. This is what I do. I get so confident that I figured this stuff out and then I get lost immediately. This one's spicy. This one's a little less spicy. Still a little spice there. This one has some spice to it too. But like when I was drinking this alone, there was no spice. So I don't know if maybe I don't know what's going on there. But this one is substantially different than these two. These two are similar in their profile. This one seems a little bit darker to me. This one seems a little bit softer and a little bit more of that sweetness to me. More spice over here. But then this one just comes off completely different than the other two. And that mocha on the nose, that coffee note on the nose, it smells like somebody just grinded up coffee beans is what it smells like. This is like the perfect balance of sweet and spicy. This is like spicy, sweet, and this is if these two had a baby. I feel like I mixed these two to get to this glass right here. This is definitely my favorite glass right here. So we're going to put this at number 1. We're going to go back between these two real quick one more time to see who is 2 and 3, but these are interchangeable. If I drank this one night, I would tell you it's my favorite. If I drank this the next night, I would tell you it's my favorite. I just don't know which bottle these even are and which one I like the best. So let's go one more time. See, I originally said this is this. I think this might be, I honestly don't know. But I think these two are going to be our BRTO2 as well as the bottle that we were drinking tonight. I think that this glass is going to be our BEP. The question becomes, which one do I like better? And I promise you I'm going to tell you right after this sip right here. Originally, this was going to be second place because I thought the complexity on this glass was a little bit better. But I will tell you, personal preference here. The sweetness on this glass is giving me just a little bit more. So we're going to say that glass is going to be number 2. This glass is going to be number 3. But we've got to finish these glasses because there's only one way to flip them over. But listen, we got to finish these glasses. We got to flip them over. If you stuck around this long, click that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Cheers, y'all. What, you didn't think I was going to tell you yet, did you? Let's start with glass number 3. I'm assuming this is the BRTO2 or the Hearts release. I just don't know which one it is, but we're going to start with glass number 3. Cheers, y'all. It's really good, but I'm going to stick with my decision, and the answer is A. This was the Heart release. I kind of thought that, but I wasn't too sure. That means that I got to be right on this. This has to be the American Oak Stave finish. Let's go to this one right here real quick. And the answer is B. Guys, we were dead right on this, which means this is C. I am very, very proud of myself right now. Wait. I'm wrong. I was wrong. A, yes, was in last place, but B was our BEP, which was this was the American Oak Staves. I was wrong on this. BRTO2 ended up winning this, which was another 10 French Oak Stave finish. That's crazy. BRTO2 over BEP. I think I did this before with this against this at one point. I got to go back and look. Again, any day of the week, any blind could do anything. So this bottle comes in at a 6.58 for me. Not a great spot, but let me tell you, the biggest turnoff for this is going to be going forward. This is 1 of 5, which means we have 4 more of these series. Now, as the YouTube guy, do I have to get them and try them and then compare them so that people can watch? Absolutely. Do I want to? Based off this, I don't want to do another 5 bottles of the wood finishing series. I just don't want to do that. I was excited for the next step in their releases, the next step in what they had going on, but to put out the wood finishing series again just seems like a slap in the face to me, and that's just me. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this particular release. But listen, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button here on YouTube. I would greatly appreciate it. Check us out on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Go click that follow button over there. Patreon and Discord, both those links in the description below. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay drinking the Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series for the next 5 releases. Cheers, y'all.